Hi, I'm Lonnie.
I'm ambitious.
Well, let me move this microphone in a little bit where we can
Maybe.
pick our voices up
Might be a thing.
a little bit better. And this is our Walking Dead review, season finale of The Walking Dead, episode 22. Here's Negan.
Well, it's not season finale.
Yeah, it is.
It's the COVID episodes ending.
Well, yeah, but it's the final episode of season 10.
We already watched the episode of season 10. This is just extras.
Okay.
Lonnie's having a hard time concentrating because he cannot find his Here's Negan hardcover.
Yeah, I had a hardcover, the actual hardcover of Here's Negan.
I'm pretty sure you've shown it before, but we watched the episode.
Yeah, this was going to be the special episode, and I was going to have it out, and I was going to show it, and I was going to be like, look, here it is. And no, apparently not. It has vanished, and we're not
out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nobody knows where it's at, and I got the weird feeling.
Everybody thought it was in the same place.
Yeah.
Even Joseph, and he's like, oh, it's right here.
I think I may have moved it at some point, but I really don't remember doing it, which is weird. But anyway, this episode
was really good.
Was a Negan episode. Carol takes him out to like this little farmhouse, tells him that.
Oh, that's the place where Daryl
and his
girlfriend were. It was the exact same place. So, which was weird. She chose that spot. But I guess it was not too far from home. And
it's been proven safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it probably isn't too far away that people can't take him supplies on occasion. Blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, spoilers for this episode. Obviously, we're going to be airing this right after the live airing on AMC Sunday night, 10 o'clock.
Yay. Because when you have it on Prime, you get to watch it early.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I like the AMC Plus option to be able to watch it early. Came on yesterday, release. So this episode was Negan-centered. His real-life wife played his wife Lucille in this episode.
That wasn't interesting.
This episode was similar, but also different from the comic book.
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear your thoughts on it, because I've not read it.
If I'm not mistaken, in the comic book, she dies in the hospital as the apocalypse is happening.
Yeah.
And she reanimates, and he leaves her there because he can't stand. And then later on, he creates Lucille, and the bat itself doesn't have any kind of significant story, or he doesn't get it from a group of doctors or anything. The whole him going around trying to get her treatments and stuff.
That's all here.
Yeah, that's all. But
which honestly, not read it myself. This sounds more interesting than the read.
Now,
the comic.
Oh yeah, the comic was pretty quick. They released it in I think like 10 or 12 segments. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, I have the first one. It was in like the Image Plus magazine that came with like previews catalog, and they released it over the course of like a year. Mm-hmm. And then they released the entire thing in a hardcover collected. But the whole thing, like Negan, the deal with like him, cheating on his wife and all that, that was in the comic, and that was like part of that guilt that he had, but seeing him go, like the way they told the story in this episode was just fantastic.
It really was.
So much so that it got me all pumped up. I decided to wear my Negan outfit.
Yeah, I love it.
So I'm happy it still fits, because it's very tight.
Yes, pretty snug.
Because since we got it, I lost weight and then I gained weight. So I'm very fortunate that I'm able to wear it still. Yeah, the full cosplay. The only thing I'm missing now is boots. But yeah. Oh, and the bat, obviously.
Well,
I've gone through 2 bats. Zero chewed them both up. So, I love my baby, but yeah, he is. He's an asshole.
He said, "I'm the only one he can love."
He's an albino asshole. All right, so yeah, so he's going around, basically Carol tells him that he's been banished. And, he kind of figures out really quick that, they didn't really banish him. That's just Carol trying to get him out.
He asked her. He straight up asked her, did they really banish me? Or is this a Carol thing? And she just smiled.
Yeah.
So he knew. And
he really kind of came to peace with everything. He faced his former self, Savior Negan, who he plays also in kind of a little, talking to himself montage there. Yeah, like I'm having a hard time putting a lot of this into words. That doesn't happen a lot in these reviews, but I've been looking forward to this episode ever since they announced it. I've been looking forward to this episode since before they announced it. Like, I knew it was probably coming, but then when they finally did, I was like, yes. And I was not disappointed. And this episode had some very, very emotional scenes.
absolutely.
You really got to see his whole dynamic with his wife, their whole backstory, and then everything just kind of falling apart for him. And then after he gets back from trying to get her supplies, she's committed suicide, and her walker body is there, and she leaves him a note to not leave her like that. And it was just, oh my God.
It was awful. It was really, really sad.
Like without going out, like being too personal or anything, but like their whole dynamic about how, he was, doing all that, behind her back, and then they made peace and they had their talk. I related to that so much. Yeah. So I'm just like, God, like I didn't know I could relate to Negan any more.
Right.
Than I already did, and how much I love the character and everything. This episode
it's a very human thing to relate to, is fucking up with someone that you love, and then finally being like, hey, I'm sorry. And sometimes it takes something tragic afterwards to really put things into perspective.
And I'm getting teary-eyed during a review. That is not good. I was sitting here, I was like, nope, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. And then it was like, the more you talked, I'm just like...
He was like, oh, God. It'd be that way sometimes, Lonnie. Usually it's me.
So...
Usually it's me.
We did. We got to see Negan's first kill. We got to see him get Lucille. And look, I would spoil it, but... this is one of those I don't really want to spoil for people. Like, I don't want to spoil too much. I don't want to get down into, like, too big of the details.
Well, yeah.
You really need... If you've watched really much at all Walking Dead over the last 3 or 4 seasons, you need to go watch this episode immediately if you haven't already. Because by this time, there's no excuse. This... The scene at the end where he returns to Alexandria, people are building everything. Daryl, Carol, Maggie, and her son Herschel are there. Yeah, they're there, and he just kind of walks up. He kind of decides, hey,
he surely does.
Let's do this, and he shows up, and he's not like. Here's the thing: he shows up, or he leaves. Kind of having that deal where he looks at Maggie. Maggie acknowledges everybody around him, but does not acknowledge him.
And he hates that, but he understands that.
Yeah, and he's trying to be nice, and trying to kind of extend that olive branch. But then when he comes back, you see flashes of that pompous asshole Negan, and he's just kind of looking over at Maggie like, hey, I'm here.
Like smiling.
Yeah, and, Carol tells him, hey, she's going to kill you. And he was like, let's do this.
Right, like, I'll write it out.
So, it makes me so, like, you know what? Like, at this point, like, I don't even give a shit about the Commonwealth.
He feels like, you know what? If my wife and I could overcome all this,
yes.
I should be able to deal with this.
Yep.
I've already dealt with probably the most tragic and awful thing of my life. This is going to be nothing.
Well, he's thinking, hey, if this kills me...
So be it,
Yeah.
So be it. Do you think Maggie's really going to kill him, or do you think they'll work it out?
If they stick with they've already kind of had their back and forth. Because, if I'm not mistaken, didn't she, come and see him in the jail cell before she left? I feel like they did have their little...
I feel like we watched that too.
Yeah, but I know in the comic books, Negan just got to the point where he was in jail in the comics. She approached him. She actually held a gun to his head, and he told her, he was like, kill me. Please kill me, because, I don't really have anything left. And she refused to kill him as punishment. She's like, no, I would rather you just live and suffer. And I feel like that didn't happen to that extent, but because I've read the comic book, I feel like I'm getting my stories mixed up. And it's been so long since we've watched it, a couple of years, and I've only seen that episode one time. But, yeah, it's going to be one of those things I have to, catch the scene, and watch it and kind of...
Well, even so, even if that happened or didn't happen, there's still a lot of intense emotion between them, and she's not happy about
a lot of it.
So, but
I'm looking forward to the future. The season 11 is going to premiere this summer. We don't have an exact date yet, but we will report that as soon as they announce it. So what do you give this episode?
I'm going to give it an 11. I am. It was going to be just a 10, but I really like how it ended. I really liked him returning back and Carol being like, well, I just didn't want my death on my hands.
Yep.
So now if you die, hey, you die. And that was really nice.
I definitely give this an 11. But like there was any question.
Oh, well, you saw the title and gave it an
11. Yeah, there was never a question. This was a Negan episode. It was an entertaining Negan episode. I'm probably going to watch this again before the end of the weekend. I'll probably come home from work Sunday night and watch it again.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll be sitting here all emotional and everything. Because I feel like this does warrant a second viewing. So, definitely hands down the best episode of the COVID episodes, without a doubt, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it is.
This one was really good, and the one with Aaron and Gabriel was really good.
Yeah, that was really good. Of course, I like the one with Princess, too. They've all been really good, but this one...
I forgot that was a part of them.
This one was the crown jewel to me. Yeah. They saved the best for last, and just
did.
Good, perfect episodes. I loved it.
They definitely did that on purpose. If they played this one, first or second, I don't think anybody would have watched the rest of them.
Yeah.
Or a lot of people.
Never would have held up the other ones would have. They would have been like, But yeah, I can't wait to get online and see how many people gripe about this episode, even though it's clearly one of the best of the series. But, okay. Well, yep, 11's across the board. We're going to go review some more stuff, and we'll see y'all for more Walking Dead later in the summer. I'm Lonnie.
I'm Amberlicious.
And we're Untitled Nerd Network. We will see y'all again. We got lots of stuff. We're reviewing stuff left and right, so just stay tuned.